Hello, welcome everybody, it's William, welcome to my channel. You're watching a series video about map development, and before we get started, I have a small favor to ask you guys. As you guys can see, I'm really small YouTube, and I'm trying to make a living. To be honest, I recently get unemployed, and this channel might be the only source of revenue that I might get. Because I haven't reached the monetization hurdle yet. So the best way to support this channel, by the way, this channel updates every day. I try my best to update daily, and the best way to support this channel and keep this channel alive is to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumb up. Okay, so thank you so much for your support. Without further ado, let's get started. So we already make a really interesting map, and we already using an extension to add the location, which will be a CL location coordinate 2D to make coordinate to the map. And of course we can make our customization image. So for example, a cake, maybe my image, something like this head of me, just draw. By the way, I also got a Learn Digital Art channel where I share my experience of learning digital art, and I draw every thumbnail as well as the all this interesting avatars. Okay, so yeah, and of course I can import that. So for example, my name is William Jamming, so WJM. I import this image here, and I can successfully reference that using a more customization image. Okay, and if you haven't watched my previous video, I strongly recommend watch that. It will show the detailed steps of how to do that. Okay, so let's make this map even more interesting. So the best way to learn it is to learn from Google's map, because Google's map is really powerful. I use it every day, and I dreamed of develop some product like this, and Apple make it possible. So because there are a lot of competition in the world of the internet, so one company, one big tech giants may put forward a product, and other giants may just put a similar competitive product, so you can learn from it. So as a from a product manager perspective, if you want to develop an app and you want to this is more like a full stack developer as well as a product manager perspective. So you need to learn from the different feature of the product in order to develop something interesting, and don't just dive into the technical detail, but rather to step out of it and think for a second of how to achieve things. Okay, so just incorporate the product manager thinking into your developer process, and I think it's really helpful, and learn that lesson through my 10 years of experience of developing. Okay, so let's go to the map portion of Google, and just Google Map. I think let me just Google Map. Okay, so we already got this Google Map. Just search it. Okay, so nothing too fancy, just search Google Map, and you can get this beautiful design of Google Map. And we already achieved, say, New York. Let's just move to certain places. We already achieved certain icon, we call that annotation, and we can add text as well as image, and SF image to this annotation. And so we already achieved that. But there are some cool features that Google Map have, and I want to achieve that in our demonstration. So the Google have a really cool features called layers. Okay, so if you click a layer here, and you can get terrain, traffic, transit, biking, and more. That's brilliant, because you can get a satellite image, and instead of just this simple version of like this is like the human version rather than this actual terrain. So for example, you're riding a bike, and you want to know the height for example, the biking routes, you can get that. So you got different settings, different option for your map, and how to achieve that in your iOS developments. So let's achieve that. So remember, we already got the default map going. So we only need to change the option of the map. So basically change the style of the map. And we sort of need to change the style. Okay. So let's go back and demonstrate that for you. We already got this map up and running. So if you don't know where it started, where it ends, I already tell you multiple times. Just double click, and you can get the end of it. And then you can add modifier to it. So for example, I'd like to add a map style to it. So map style, and I can change map style. So for example, I can dots and got hybrid, imagery, standard. Yeah. What about imagery? Okay, so let's just use that, and you can see amazing thing already happened. You got imagery data, and I think it's the satellite imagery. And let's just zoom in London School of Economic and Science. Let's just zoom this bad boy in and see the detail. Oh, we got a lot of trees here. And the developed area with city. Okay, that looks pretty good, pretty nice. So you got a imagery data. So you saw, for example, the London Bridge, and Williams actually on the London Bridge. You can see whether we got Ellen Bridge here. So we don't got Ellen Bridge, but rather just some, yeah, just some shape, ferry. Okay, I think I got as far as it goes. Okay, so you can actually see the imagery data. Okay, and what is more interesting is that I can change that to, say, hybrid. So the hybrid basically gives you not only the imagery data, but also the data that originally see. So we got the draw map, the places, all the icon on it. And so you can get a better understanding of what these streets is. So you can see this is river times, and we got this say this road. We can got a certain name to it. Yeah, and yeah. So you can see we got parking lots, all the icon to it, and yeah. So this will be the hybrid mode. Or hybrid style, that matter. And we got our standard style, which will be, yeah, something like this. So it's just standard map. Okay, so yeah, so basically we got more options to choose from. So when you got more options to choose from, you are going to make a certain picker for the user to choose, because the user can't just dive into the Xcode and write a bunch of codes to actually change the map style. The user can't do that, so you have to do that for your user. So if you watch my intro for the iOS development, I already introduced you guys a cool way of doing it. I think when we discussed Z-Stack, we already discussed the application to it, which is using a states variable to get all this option out, so we can change it and bind that to here. So you got a for loop, and you got a selection from all sort of state variable. So you bind it here, and you got an enum, and which will be all options. You can get all the options out, and make it the raw value will be string, and identifiable will be a certain ID, and you can loop, you can for loop the whole cases, and then you can choose a certain cases by clicking. Okay, so we are going to use this method to our map. So we are going to make a segmented selection. Of course, you can use different picker. Of course, just change the style. You can even get the say. We will demonstrate every style for you. So, for example, you can get this. Why there is no automatic inline menu. You can even got a menu style, so you can just click it and change that. We will demonstrate all that for you, so don't you worry about that, because it's just a Z step. It won't change the map underneath it. It just float above the map. Okay, so we're going to use this method. If you haven't learned, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch my previous another tutorial, which will be the intro of iOS development, and that's crucial for this mini project as well as the project, the MapKit project like this. Okay, so yeah, as we move on, we will move on to more complex design as well as the complex code. We'll get a lot of code in our project, so I might just skip some of the methods, some of the module that we already covered earlier. If I mentioned that I already discussed in another tutorial, in another series, I might just link in description so you can quickly jump to it. Okay, so instead of just hard code the map style here, I'm going to use the previous method, which I already discussed that in my iOS intro tutorial, and using this enum to do that. So I'm going to borrow the code here, and let's put it just above the. Yeah, we got this content view. Let me just put it above here, so you guys can see all options. All options. Maybe style options. All style options. Options just give you more context. So when you maintain and just want to modify the code, you know what is going on. All style options. Yeah, pretty good. Then we got option 1, 2, 3, which should be changed because you got different style, and I'm going to use the exact style. So, for example, we got standard. That is most the standard version. So I'm going to use the standard. Okay. And instead of just option 1, I'm going to use standard instead of option 1. And of course, you can we got hybrid and we got imagery. So imagery should be second, because just like option 1 and option 2. Okay. And the final, of course, will be the hybrid, because that's much more combined and condensed of information. So they can include information imagery as well as the standard. So I'm going to get the hybrid and got it here. So we got 3 cases, and the reason we use string, because we want to use the raw value as a sort of identifiable ID. So every case is different, and case iterable is just a way of organizing the data, and when I want to use it, I use the for loop to loop everything and find the one that I want. Okay, so I'm going to add a picker and picker style and background. Yeah, I'm going to borrow the code here, and of course don't forget to add the state variable at the beginning of the struct. So the structs, okay, view and var, body. Let's see, we got var body. Let's just paste it before the body, and we got this current selected option, selected style option. Okay, and just give it more context, and all star options, and I'm going to use the standard as the default option. So when user do not choose anything. We go standard map view because it's quicker to load. Do not have a lot of imagery data. So when you actually call a certain API and the internet is not good enough, and you may see a really lag at loading. So just to save the user a little bit time, I'm going to use the standard to make it quick transfer the data. And then once you got that, you can adding the let's float it somewhere. Okay, so in order to float it, remember we got a map, okay, and I'm going to float above the map, so I'm going to embed that in a Z stack. So I'm going to embed that in a Z stack. So in case you don't know, the shortcut is holding the control, click it, and embed it in Z stack. So I already embedded the map at the Z stack, and just double click here, finding the end of it, and at the end of this modifier. Okay, do not include this modifier, just to jump out of it. And I'm going to add a picker. So I'm going to borrow the picker here because I don't want to go through all the hustle. Okay, let me paste it here. Picker and selection, because we got correct binding. In order to get the correct binding, I'm going to get the exact word here. So we bind this, adding a dollar sign in order to bind it with the data provided here. Okay, this is just a state variable, and we're going to using for loop to loop every option, and all options. I think I'm going to use all style options because I'm going to enum loop that. So all style options, all cases, every option, every style option. Let me just add it, so just to make it even more clear to understand. And we got a raw value, and we're going to capitalize it. We're going to tag the every style option. Okay, and then you can see we got a option selection picker just floating above the map. Okay, so you can still see the map, you can still zoom in and out of the map, you can still see all the annotation here, but you got a picker. Okay, and yeah, so let's see the map, whether the map is working properly. It do work properly, and you can just pick the correct. It's not correct or incorrect, but rather the one that you want to use. Okay, you can choose from standard or imagery or hybrid. Okay, and yeah, and I think the right now I don't want it to float here because let me just grab my brush. So from the perspective of a product manager, and let me just get my brush. Okay, so if you say 95% of the client using your app is right-handed, so you can imagine that the person is holding your phone this way. So maybe they're grabbing your phone, something like this. Okay, and their thumb is approximately here. Okay, so yeah, it's approximately here. So the comfortable moving places for the user should be like this. Okay, when you want to get a button, you should approximately put it somewhere here. If you I say exit button, you might just put it here because you don't want the user to click that. You want the user to remain in your app as much as possible. So the X button should be here, and maybe more button, more functionality that you don't want the user to use often you can put it here, and you can click it, and you got more options. But say this thing that you want to use, this feature you want user to do, because you are going to put it at the range of his or her, or whatever the user's the pronoun is. Sorry, I'm not native. In English, it's not my mother tongue, so I don't know how to say that. Just your user area of just to make your user comfortable. Okay, so you need to put the button at these approximate places. So I'm going to do exactly that by changing the stack. Okay. And I can I think I got alignments here. Okay, so instead of the alignment top, I'm going to do the alignments of yeah, let me just put it here, alignments. Instead of put it at the top, because that would be a little bit stretched, I'm going to put it at the bottom. So we got approximately here, and I got a little bit sticky. Maybe adding a little bit padding. I got annotation, got a star picker, and let me just get all these stack and adding a padding. Maybe 10. Okay. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't add the padding here because that will leave you pretty blank. Maybe add the padding at the picker because I don't want this sticky area here. So maybe add the padding here, and let's see. Yeah, so I got a floating area that I can choose. Okay, and of course you can make it transparent by just commenting out. So there will be a transparent option menu, and let me just uncomment it. Of course, you can change the menu to say we can choose a lot of things. Just wait for it to come out. We'll pick a style. We don't get the automatic pop-up style, so maybe segmented, I think, is really good. Okay, we got standard, imagery, and hybrid, segmented, and I think palette. Yeah, palette is also pretty good. Palettes are like the color palette. You can select the one that you like. Okay, and if you don't want it white, you can make it floating above with a little bit transparency. I think it's also pretty good. If you want to adjust the area, you can just adjust the padding. So try something like that, and you can fine tuning it. So we basically achieved functionality of a option bar, but you can use the option palette or option menu depending on the design. But it doesn't really change the way that the map is shown. Okay, so right now the map is still I think it's hybrid. It's an imagery. It's a hybrid. Sorry, it's a hybrid. So what I like to do is to, according to the selection that I'm selected, I'd like to change the map. Okay, so basically I'm going to reference something like all star options. I'd like to get that all star options, and according to the selected the current selected style options, I want to change that. Okay, so how to do that? Pretty simple. First, I'm going to get the current selected option. Okay, so current select option, I'm going to copy that and just put it here. But the current select option just get you some of the raw value of the self, which will be just a string. But we are going to get something like the dots, imagery or dots, yeah, maybe the standard. I can't remember that. Let me check. A dot hybrid or dot imagery or dot standard. Okay, so instead of just the return this the dot, the raw value, which is not a dot and then there's a string, but rather just this string, I'm going to return a dot thing. Okay, so how to do that? Pretty simple. We can at the end of this var, this just for identification purpose only. So let's add the return. And how to do that? Let's adding a var and name it let's get it maybe just map style current select option dot selected style. Okay, selected style. It's not actually selected style, but the shown style or something like that. So let me just use the show style. Okay, and we got a show style that's conform to the map style, and we're going to get you a different case to switch from. So I'm going to get a switch statement and give you all sort of cases. So we can get a case of a dots, the standard, okay, and we might get the case of say yeah, pretty strange. Why does the just oh sorry, we haven't returned it. So in case of the standard, let's return a say okay, just yeah, that's better. Let's return dot standard. Okay, so yeah, and in case of dot hybrid or yeah imagery. In case of imagery, sorry, I haven't got that. That's just the reason why it got all messed up. Yeah, that's better. Return dot imagery. Okay, and then add the case of dot hybrid, and then I'm going to return dot hybrid. Okay, so I can access the show style by adding the dots here. I should be able to find that show style. Okay, and yeah, so the map style will be the show style, which would be the style that you selected. Okay, so right now it's hybrid. Let's just refresh it, and hopefully it can run. You got syntax error, and where's the syntax error? Expect, yeah, sorry, that is our syntax error. That's the reason it does not responding. So the default is standard. That's pretty good. That's a good sign, because I already set the binding state. The default one should be standard, and let's just try that out. Imagery, yeah, I changed that to imagery. That's pretty good. Click it and change that to hybrid. That's hybrid for you. Pretty good. Yeah, and then you can add some say the picker. I can add a this is a Z stack. Okay, Z stack. I can embed that in a let's embed that in a horizontal stack. Okay, just to make more practiced for you. Okay, so we got a picker, and because it's horizontal stack, I might just add some text before it. So maybe a text, and let's say let's just add a string just as a replacement. The map style. Okay, tap to change. Okay, then you can select, because it's a menu. Okay, change the background. Let's change background to for consistency. So let's give it a white background. And yeah, clearly this is not a good background, but yeah, at least it's working. And of course you can use a resizable and scale it up, something like that. It doesn't really matter because I already got this map style indication, and then you can change that to your standard imagery and hybrid. Yeah, and of course you can change the menu to whatever options that you like to have. So for example, you can use palettes. Okay, so you get a standard imagery or hybrid, something like that. And say the text, you can add some image to it. Yeah, image and text, and we use the combination of it. You can even say this is an edge stack horizontal, and you can embed that in a say V stack, and V stack we got edge stack to it. So let me just quickly demonstrate that how versatile this is. Okay, so we got this vertical stack, embedded that in the vertical stack, and say I can add an image and say a system image. So this is just SF symbol, and say we get, can I get a map or something like that? Yeah, I can get a map and something like that. Okay, so you can just right click and copy its name and go back here, and we got this yeah, sorry, it's not here, but rather here, and we can just get the system name. I got a map icon, and then you can of course give it say the background color, and that's all design thing. Okay, so say we got a white background, so we get it pretty good, and of course you can stretch it, you make it bigger, something like that. Just you can embed a lot of things, and you get multiple layers. Just make the app whatever design that you like. You can even add in text to it. Then there will be a horizontal stack. Okay, so click it, and you got a horizontal stack, and you say I'd like adding text as well. Yeah, this is just overcomplicated, a simple problem. Say you can change the style. You can change the style, or say this will be your app. So maybe William Jamming's map, something like that. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with the app. Okay, and so that's the power of MapKit, and you can do a lot of customization, and you can do a lot of design difference built above this amazing app, and yeah, that looks amazing. And of course, my recommendation is to put it to the places where it does not obstruct the main app, and you can get all the functionality working without worry about without worry about the style that you choose. Okay, and of course you can while you are at the certain places that you want to change the layout. For example, this is just too much information I'd like to show clearly. I can just switch that back to standard, and everything just works fine. Okay, so, and of course imagery and hybrid. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's already pretty long for this video. And don't forget, the best way to support this channel, to support me, is to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumb up. And I make video every day, so I will see you pretty soon. Bye. And